Heidi Voigt is in studio with us on this edition of Taking You Home. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, let's talk about flex spaces because I really want to get to tiny homes.
Yes. I love tiny homes. Should be a segment.
Yes,
we
they
should talk
should.
about that because
Sure.
there's a lot of really cool things. But I was thinking about flex spaces this morning. My grandson and my husband and one of my daughters were having a full-on basketball game in the living room.
Oh, sure.
And when I look out my backyard, there's a house in the backyard, and they have an accessory building, but they actually use it as a basketball court.
Right.
And those are flex spaces, right? Like people dream, like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have this? And it's becoming a thing. And I think it's relevant. A lot of questions come with it, like, should I do this or shouldn't I? Will I get it back out of my house when I sell?
Yeah, but you get to use it, right?
Yeah.
So there's the value, I think.
See, now you summed up the whole show in one sentence.
Nice. Way to go, Bob. What are we going to talk about for the next 5 minutes?
I don't know.
You know, you talk about things like this, and it doesn't matter. It can be something as simple as, for example, we're doing a little ground level deck off of our service door along one side of our house because it's on the northeast side. I can't get grass to grow there, right? So I want to be able to use it. I don't want to track yuck into my garage.
Sure.
I'm just going to put a ground level deck in there. We'll be able to use that space. We can cook there. We can sit there.
For sure.
It's as they say, flex space.
Yes. So what I think about flex spaces is that, let's use sports courts for example. Sure. If you're the first person in St. Cloud that did a sports court and you have this big concrete pour and 15-foot ceilings or whatever it is, everybody's going to scratch their head saying, I wonder if they'll ever get that back. And of course there'll be the enjoyment, but what happens is as they become a little bit more typical in maybe an upper end home, then all of a sudden it's not so weird anymore.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. But when I talk to people about what they're thinking about doing in their home, like, hey, we're thinking about changing this whole area into a craft space, or we're thinking about, putting a bar and a theater all down in this extra room that we have. I always tell people, make it as pliable and versatile as possible. Use it for what you want it to be, but put parameters in there that if you were selling, could you take all of your unique specific stuff out of there and the next buyer could see it as a space that they would use?
For something completely different.
Something completely different, right? Yeah. So that's where, when it comes to things like, do I do a sports court or do I do an accessory garage that I can actually play ball in?
Yeah.
And then the next person doesn't maybe have a basketball player or a volleyball player, but they have a car collection, and now I've got a versatile, flexible space that has value for more than one type of category.
I always wanted to have a 2-car detached garage or a 3-car detached garage with the loft above.
Yeah, everybody's dream, yeah.
You can either have that as an apartment, a workshop, a studio, whatever.
Yeah, we'd put our pool table up there. We talk about it all the time. Like, that's where we would put our pool
place
table.
to hide.
Yeah, all those things, right? But so you're talking about that loft. That loft, if we did something like that and put a billiard space up there, the next person that owns our property might be somebody that's a woodworker, and they put all their woodworking stuff up there. So it's versatile. So I do think that people should create spaces that they love and do it in a manner and that they're going to stay there forever. But if it happens that they're not there, can they transform that space and say, oh, this craft room that we had, if we get rid of all these cupboards, it can actually be the 5th bedroom, or whatever it might be.
How many times have you walked into a house, brand new listing, and you see, they put the desk in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody did that.
Oh yeah.
That's because everybody hangs out in the kitchen. Kids going to do schoolwork. Well, I may as well, mom and dad, have my little desk right here.
Sure. Yes.
Instead of a home office. Now everybody's doing the home office, right?
Well, yeah, and really that has kind of evolved a little bit too, because with laptops and all those things, the home office has become the center island.
But I just think about the kitchen where everybody used to, and you walk in and it's a nice oak. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe some bright gold hardware on the drawers.
Yep, it's for sure. And it's that landing zone, right?
Yeah.
I remember having a home listed, and they had just about every room that you could ever imagine. That landing zone with that little desk was actually in a closet. Like, so you had this whole house and they had this, but
Sure.
but it's clutter, right?
Yeah.
So they shoved that right in a closet and used it in there. So you know, you can think outside of the box and create spaces. Another trending space that we see that I just think would just be awesome is a lot of people are creating butler pantries, for example,
Yes.
right? So if I was somebody saying, oh, I love a butler pantry, but I would like to have, you know, it be over here and I'm gonna have to add on, what I would right away think in my head is, if I'm going to do that, can it be transformed into a really cool mudroom later on or something if somebody didn't want that as the space?
You knew exactly where I was going, because I see, like, now, if I could remodel places that I've lived in before, having that mudroom right off of the garage
Yeah.
is perfect. That's where your laundry room can be. That's
Yep.
where your baskets need to be for your dirty clothes, all that kind of stuff.
For sure. It should be one of the larger rooms in the house.
I
in my
agree.
opinion. Doesn't have to be wide, but you know, linearly or you know, in length
Yep.
and stuff, it should be able to fit all those categories. I think it's a really, really smart investment in space.
You know, and when you're talking about stuff like this, flex spaces, sometimes you have to think about electricity. You have
Yeah.
to think about getting some water in there, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
bar area. Maybe you're going to be doing a tiki hut outside or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to plan.
You do have to, and it's the planning portion of it, or the ease of how it can happen is what will prevent people from doing it or not doing it. But my suggestion is do it because it's going to make you happy,
You bet.
but do it in a manner that it can be used by you for this specific purpose and maybe a different purpose for somebody else, and because it has the right infrastructure.
And you get to enjoy it.
Yes.
While you're there.
Exactly.
See, we're back to that spot again.
Yes, yeah, you wrapped it right around.
How do we work with you, Heidi?
Just give us a call at 320-774-2400 or visit our website at VoigtJohnson.com.
Voigt Johnson taking you home. Heidi, thank you.
Thank you.